So for me, glamping's it's where our world is, right? And I think we have one of the most beautiful countries on the planet, and it's so unexplored by the average everyday American that it gives you a way to be able to do it in comfort and not have to go and be extravagant. What's an average ModVan cost?
So the average price in 2021, which we need to redo now that it's 2023 here, was $109,000.
Yeah.
And so what we do to make that affordable, though, which is kind of interesting piece of the puzzle, and one of the reasons I became an RV manufacturer, is that we can get you a 20-year loan on that. So you kind of buy it like a house. You get these long-term loans with relatively low interest rates. And then the monthly payment becomes very similar to what you would pay for a new SUV. And it turns out there's 8 million of those sold every year in the US. So there's a lot of people that can
500, 600 a month, 400 a month. Yeah.
Everybody
1,000 a month.
That's what a new SUV cost you maybe 3 years ago. Now a new SUV costs you $600 or $700 a month.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's great, to be able to have, I mean, how much does a vacation property own, right? Or a beach house? And what's the margin gap for a ModVan? And what do you guys make on a $110,000 purchase?
We have kind of what we have in our financial model, which is a 30% margin, which is
okay.
Amazing for a manufacturer. I mean, that, if you're trying to sell software, then it's terrible. A great software margin would be 80 or 90%. But for a vehicle manufacturer like Tesla is operating 20-30% margins, and everybody thinks they're amazing. It's the most amazing margins ever seen in the automotive industry. So that's our goal. We're not there yet. We have to achieve scale. There's different areas that we need to improve. We need to do a better job of separating R&D costs from manufacturing costs. So, but yeah, if you actually look at the model, and when I track against the model, we're doing really well. I think that 30% is very achievable in the next couple of years for us.
So what do you feel like you've run the last 2 years as far as profit margin on an individual deal? I'm not talking about total business profit margin, because we'll talk about burn rate and other things.
Yeah. I would say we're basically breaking even. That's where we are.
Okay.
We operate pretty much on break even, and then the money that I have taken from investors, which is about $3 million to date, we've invested primarily in expanding our production capacity and R&D. So we haven't lost any money on a per vehicle basis, but I wouldn't say we're really making money on a per vehicle basis yet either.
So the burn rate and the margin gap is something that is very difficult for people to understand. And so what a burn rate is it's kind of like, if I'm running PJ's business, I have to calculate, like, it's going to cost me $800,000 right this year for me to be able to achieve an $80 million profit, right, 3 years from now. And so how can I close that gap between 0 and 800,000 and then continue to push to be an $80 million profits in year 10 or year 12, right? And so This is the fascinating part of a CEO. And that's why also when you look at kind of one of the magic of ModVans is they have an experienced tech, right, entrepreneur. And so you get into this place where you're having to figure out, these are things that other people can't figure out. Like the thing us real estate guys understand, right, is we understand capital output for capital improvements, right? We understand capital output for capital growth, right? Let's say, I bought a farm in Tennessee for $3.2 million earlier this year. I know that it'll appraise right now for almost $9 million, right? Wow. Now that's insane. But that appraisal didn't come because I went and, pinched my pennies and I didn't put money into the property, right? I put hundreds of thousands of dollars into irrigation, into machinery, into technology, into different things to create that value for investors,